Alright, so here's a video on a conversation that I had with my in-laws this weekend, and it deals with a theory that I've had about Christians for a while. Now, they're conservative Christians, I'm an atheist. But this last weekend, not this one, but the one, actually no, it was this last weekend, my wife and I watched that mermaid special that was on, I think, Travel Channel or Animal Planet, one of those two things. It was very enlightening. It's very interesting. Despite the evidence that was for or against the existence of mermaids, we also watched Finding Bigfoot, which is a show on Animal Planet. It's really fun to watch. You should check it out. The theory is, and it's a post that is loosely based on Christian beliefs. And it says, you tell the mass that a God exists, they'll believe without question. You tell them that there's wet paint in the wall, they need to feel it to be convinced. Well, the conversation relates to my in-laws because I had asked my father-in-law, do you believe that there's a possibility that mermaids could exist? His response is, he chuckled and said, don't tell me you believe that they exist. And I said, I don't know. I mean, the evidence was compelling, but I'm still a fence sitter. My mother-in-law walks in the room and says, and it's coming from a man who doesn't believe in God. Now, the reason this conversation intrigued me was because of this. Okay, I'm an atheist. I don't believe that God exists. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in heaven. Heaven, hell, whatever. So, to kind of give a rationale of this conversation, I found it funny that they were mocking me for not believing in God, yet they also made fun of me for believing that there could possibly be a Bigfoot or mermaids based on the evidence I've seen. Now, I don't really yet believe that either one of them exist, okay? I'm not saying I do. I'm a fence sitter, okay? I mean, there's a possibility these things could exist, but I still want more proof that they exist. So, that's where I stand. Now, what's really hilarious is also, like, with Greek mythology, you have all these gods like Ares, Zeus, Persephone, whatever the hell her name is. It's all mythology. As in, there's nothing to prove that these people existed. Now, here's the funny part. Christians and spiritual people will believe that a God does in fact exist. And they will tell you, I know God exists. We say, how do you know? They say, the Bible says so, or I have felt his presence. Okay. Now, my mom will, for sake of our religious debates, now, my mom is a Mormon, okay? She's a devout Mormon. I've had this, we respect each other's beliefs. But what she says is spirit, I call basic instincts that we develop over time from experiences. She calls it the still small voice. So, the thing is, I find it funny that Christians will always jump to say God does exist. When you say that, well, what if Bigfoot exists? It's like, he doesn't exist. Are you kidding me? Well, that's a touche moment because we both have said the same thing about each other's beliefs. And the funny thing is, this goes back to a video I did yesterday about, respecting beliefs. And that post that I saw that, was like, death to you, death to them, death to this, but respect us, tolerate us. It goes back to that. So, the conversation, I told my father-in-law, it's like, well, we watched the show, and he said, oh, it's a silly show. There's no evidence that they exist. It can be fabricated. Yeah. It can. It can. I'm not saying it won't. But here's the thing. The Bible can be fabricated, too. Oh, my God, what a coincidence. And the funny thing is, they say, the Bible is not fabricated. It was a work of God through translation. Well, yes, so is evidence based on these mythological creatures. These mythical creatures, whatever. So, do mermaids exist? I don't know. Two videos I saw could prove that they exist, but it could also be acted out. I mean, who knows, right? Bigfoot? That show Finding Bigfoot's now been, I want to say 3 seasons. They hear noises, they hear calls, but they have yet to actually physically capture a Bigfoot. Okay, so does it exist? Who knows? If they do, they are the reigning champion hide and seek, that's for sure. But let's think about this for a second, okay? Let's think about this. So, Christians say that God exists. Okay, let's bite for a second. Okay, I tell you, I think Bigfoot exists. Now, actually, I'll go on a personal one. Okay, I believe ghosts exist. I do. That is a fact. I believe ghosts exist. Why? Because I've seen one. Believe it or not, I have actually seen an apparition. I've been touched by one. Now, unfortunately, the picture that I took has been deleted off my phone after I reset my phone a while back. I'll look for it in my profile somewhere, but I think it's been deleted, which is very, very unfortunate because it was compelling. Anyways, so, my father-in-law said that after I told him I believe ghosts exist, he said, there's an explanation for it, and I gave him. Now, what happened was the picture I took, actually my wife took it, okay, so the scenario was, I had my arm around, we were in her son's dad's apartment, we were putting him to bed, waiting for, his dad to get there so we could go home. I was engaged to her at the time. And we were watching normal TV. We weren't watching any ghost shows. No, we love ghost shows. We were watching some documentary crap, whatever. So, I had my hand behind her back, my right hand, and he had Christmas lights hung around a mantelpiece. They were not plugged in. This was actually not long. It was either before or right after Christmas of, I want to say, it was 2011. Because we weren't married yet. So, I tell her my hand is freezing ice cold, like as if I put my hand in snow for 5 minutes. Okay? It felt that cold. Now, the picture she took showed my hand. It was my right, it was four knuckles. I have naturally bad blood circulation. Okay, so that would have been a logical explanation. But, the funny thing is, if you looked at the Christmas lights behind, there were 4 bulbs in this picture. Only one was glowing. And it was a second from the bottom. Okay, the other this thing was not plugged in, mind you. Okay, there were 4 lights that were in plain sight of this picture. Only one was glowing. Now, logical explanation would say, now there was no lamp on. Now, logic would tell people it was a reflection of something else. Okay, so that were true, all 4 of them would have been involved in the light. But only one was involved. My hand was kind of a pinkish red on my knuckles. Now, that could attest to my bad blood circulation, which I've had for pretty much all my life. Okay. Now, my father-in-law says, well, maybe your circulation was cut off. And I said, then explain to me why only one light was lit up. Of all 4, only one was glowing. Explain that. To me, that sounds pretty paranormal. Okay? That was my first experience. Second experience, I didn't actually get any proof of, so it's all hearsay. But I saw an apparition in a window at my dad's work, which I'm currently at. So, anyways, but I tell my in-laws, I don't believe that God exists. They say, how can you not? Everything around you proves God exists. That doesn't mean anything. Has anybody captured proof that God actually exists? Like a picture, a video, a soundbite, anything. Anything that would substantially prove that a God exists. The answer? No. No one has. They all say, I feel his presence. That could just be your instincts. That could just be the fact that you're in a good mood. You're in a good mood because you're around people that you enjoy being around. There's plenty of explanations for that. So, what am I getting to after 9.5 minutes of ranting about this? My point is, don't mock other people's beliefs. You cannot prove or disprove that something exists until you have substantial evidence that proves without a shadow of a doubt that your theory is correct. Does God exist? I don't think he does. Many people do. I don't. I have yet to see any substantial evidence besides a book written 3,000 years ago that a God exists. Okay, I haven't seen a video of it. I've never seen an actual still camera picture of this. I've never heard a soundbite of this. Now, the reason I say ghosts exist, there are many, many sound bites and pictures and videos that ghosts exist. Watch Ghost Adventures, watch Ghost Hunters, watch Haunted Collector. They have plenty of proof. Now it's a TV show, but they all do it by their own cameras. Okay? Now, end of this rant.